What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel for another GSPro round here in the backyard simulator. For today's video, actually had kind of a tough time with all the awesome courses that are available. Kind of had a tough time figuring out what I wanted to play here, but I remember seeing this course. A couple people did it. I think Joe Legowski did it. I've watched a bunch of his videos both before I got GSPro and after. But this is the Wynn Golf Club in Las Vegas, Nevada. So looked like it was a pretty cool design course. You can see basically the Vegas, all the buildings surrounding. You can see the sphere, which I think GSPro put their own little spin on it. This is in Las Vegas, Nevada, home of, it was the latest match with Mahomes and Kelce. So we're giving it a go. I wanted to mention, I forgot to say in the basically reveal video, if you guys have any requests for any GSPro courses, if you just Google SGT, meaning Simulator Golf Tour, if you just Google SGT courses, it'll pull up a website and you can search all the available courses. I think as of this morning there was like 913. So if you have any requests for GSPro for any courses you'd like to see me play, if you go to that website and if it's available there, I can play it here. So keep that in mind. As for additional stuff I want to remember, after further testing, I was able to bring down the elevation to 3,000 feet. Previously, this is only my third time ever using GSPro, so hopefully you guys can bear with me while I kind of figure things out here on the fly. But after further testing, I think with all the extra realistic rollout, and I mean the Augusta or Georgia Golf Club that I played, there was tons of downslopes. So that was a little bit tough to find, or tough to see. But first day I got it, I came out here and I was kind of bummed how all my longer clubs seemed shorter, just using the regular settings. So it's kind of back into the point where I was with Home T Hero when I originally had the Garmin. If I just do the local weather settings, all of my longer clubs are 1 to 3 clubs short. Generally, wedges were all good, pitching wedge is good, 9-iron starts to get there, and then basically 8-iron and on. The distance loss gets progressively worse as the clubs get longer. And I actually had, I've been talking to Punch Greens. I don't know if I mentioned it in the other one, but he's always said too, since he's had GSPro for a while, he said he always noticed that his longer clubs were a bit short compared to what he's seen on course and with other simulators, and he just kind of accepted it. So I think we got him kind of figured out. He's inside, so I think it's setup dependent. He seemed to have 4,000 to be a pretty good number. I tried that at first and it still seemed like on ones I didn't catch great with the extra rollout. Again, I'm playing total length, not my carries. I don't know my carries super well, but still seemed to be a little bit long. So I brought it down to 3,000. Did a bunch of yard work yesterday afternoon, so not feeling my best. This should be interesting, but I took my time warming up and I wanted to test out the distances, so we'll see how that goes. Changed my driver back to the draw setting. I'm going to try to open up the face a little bit. I'm worried about this wind. My laptop doesn't fall over, but I have it weighted down. And I also switched out. I mentioned the previous video I was using the 23 gram weight. I put the 29 in it. Hit a couple drives and it felt pretty good, so we'll see how that goes. But I think that's about it besides the different camera angle. I figured for this time I'd try it over here, more of a down the line look. You guys can let me know which angle you like better, this one or the one that was previously more to your right, kind of more diagonal. It was more that way. But you guys can let me know. But enough talking, let's get into it. First hole, real quick for the rundown, everything's linked down below in the description. I'd appreciate it if you check out those Amazon links. And while this intro is already lengthy, I figured those Amazon links, you don't have to buy, just to clarify, you don't have to buy those actual products. All the Amazon links is just me referring the traffic to Amazon. So a great way to just support the channel without any additional cost is just to click one of those links before you do any of your regular Amazon shopping, and then I'll get a small commission. You can double check the prices before and after you click the link. So if you're buying a mop for your house, if you click on one of those links, search up your mop, add it to the cart, and check out, I'll get a small affiliate referral commission. So again, just a great way to support the channel without any extra money, no donations or anything like that. But keep that in mind. Everything is linked down below. Garmin Approach R10 behind me on DIY level stand, Country Club Elite mat, Callaway Super Fast balls, DIY stance mat, 10x7 nets, and GSPro running on my gaming computer. So first hole, let's hit the flyover. Par 4, 417. I'm going to keep going with the flyovers just while I grab my clubs and stuff. I think it's a it's a cool addition for these videos. So when I was editing and looking back, I enjoyed the flyovers. Again, you guys can let me know down in the comments, but I think it's a worthwhile thing to do, to take 5-10 seconds while I'm grabbing my club or whatnot. But first hole, we got a dog leg right. I don't know why this mini map looks kind of dark on my end, but we're just gonna aim slowly up there. Oh, I added my stock yardages for my clubs, so I changed the standard drive to 265. We'll see if I'm able to do that, but this is down 10 yards, so we'll see. Start up the right, hopefully get off to a decent start. Again, 3,000 feet. I could show you in the settings, but you can take my word for it. You guys will see it at the end of the video on the bottom of the scorecard. It'll show where the elevation is, but that's where I am for now. I may have to tinker with things going forward. Again, maybe I'll increase it, maybe I'll decrease it, and I also want to eventually add some more bags of mulch here just to give it some fresh color. And usually when I do that, I try my best to get this area, at least the stance area and the hitting area, as level as possible. Last two times I did it, I got it perfectly level, both this way, basically horizontally and vertically, and the same thing going back to the R10. So once I do that, I may need to adjust altitude or elevation settings once again, but all right, here we go. Lower on the face, it's gonna fade. We aimed up the left, so should be decent. Oh, a lot of things I'm trying to remember, but I also added, I changed up the metrics over here. So you can see I changed it to total, that was 264. Carry for the game, that's with the altitude. Carry raw, I mean 216 seems, that's straight up from the R10, which is what I was saying. That seems pretty low. 239 seems a little more in the ballpark of what it should be. Again, maybe this is a little bit high, maybe this is a little bit low. I got to adjust things going forward, but again, bear with me, it's only my third time using this software, so you guys can check out the rest of the metrics. But second shot, 145 up 3, so should be a good, somewhat choked down, smoothish 9. Play this 9 when I hit it well, about 150, 155. So considering my lower back is still pretty sore from yesterday, I think I can just take a decent swing at it. I'm gonna choke down a little bit just because there is some more realistic extra rollout here in GSPro compared to Home Tee Hero. Oh, that was very, very thin and headed a little bit right. Hopefully that lands soft. Wow. Well, that's lucky. And hopefully I get to the point, we'll hit this flyover on the second hole. Hopefully I get to the point where, like that shot in real life, that was thin, so obviously ball speed goes down, but in real life, I'm long of greens, short of greens. Like I want to get to the point, it was so frustrating for so long with Home Tee Hero. No matter what I did, it was just always short. When realistically in real life, when I'm playing courses, I end up long, I end up short. So hopefully on strikes, that will reflect here once I really, really get the weather settings dialed in. But I mentioned it in the other videos. On average, you can do the math on the carry, what the difference is, the yardage, and then take the percentage. But on average, it's about 2% per 1,000 feet. So I was at about 10% before. Right now, it should be at about 6%. I think it's shot dependent, but I mean, it's not a ton. It's just trying to get things as dialed in as possible. But second hole, par 3, 193. I'm gonna go 6 iron. 7, I don't think I'll get there. The 6 iron I've been playing to about 200, 205 on good strikes. So we'll see here. Actually, I gotta remember where that rollout, which was a lot on that last one too. So 192 carry right to the pin. I guess I'm gonna back off of that. I'm gonna go 7, which has been about 180, 185, occasionally 190. This should land, if I hit it halfway decent, about 10 yards short and roll out, I think. Just a fraction chunky, but I hit it pretty good. It should be straight. didn't have that fading quite enough, and I guess that fraction of chunkiness took about 10 yards off it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What is that? That was I've never seen that before. That was a phantom read from the R10. That just chipped for me. I mean, it was inside it was on the green. It wasn't inside the inner circle, but I've never seen that before. I don't know what the deal is with that. Maybe the software, the connector glitched or something? That was strange. Alright. Bogey on that one from the phantom chip. I would have liked my chances from where we were, but third hole, look at this flyover. There's the sphere in the background, pretty cool. Again, I think these graphics, again, this is 1080p Ultra. I changed around my screen recording settings a little bit. I noticed that the numbers were a little bit fuzzy or blurry. Not super bad, but I'm hopefully that this will correct it a little bit. They are a little bit like the 509 in the top left. It is a little bit grainy on my end, even on my screen. I think it's just, I guess that's just the way it kind of is. So there's no real difference between what I'm doing screen recording and there, but hopefully that these settings that I have will clear things up just a little bit more, because I want to take full advantage of the graphics that I can. So third hole, par 5, 510. Gonna go driver, obviously. Gonna kind of experiment too. I was thinking, I've been watching videos. The guy's name is Willie Long. Funny enough, on YouTube he has GSPro, and I think he has a GC quad. But the guy's got to be a long drive type of guy, hence the name. I don't know if that's his real name or not, but he on his drives, I mean, no shot I can ever hit it as hard as he does. He hits it in like 180, 185 ball speed, and he does like bunting, chippy 300-yard drives with his driver, which is crazy. But I noticed he really shifts his weight and he sways with his driver, which isn't exactly ideal. That's not how people teach it. But I remember I was doing that about a year ago, and I feel like with that, I'm a little bit more athletic, a little more dynamic, and I can really get I can shift my weight better and really get all my weight through the ball. So I think I'm gonna try to, this round, maybe a few more going forward, kind of experiment a little bit more with swaying a little bit, I guess for lack of better words, just shifting my weight more with driver. I'm sure it'll bleed over into other aspects of my bag, but hoping just to get some higher ball speeds and increase distance again on the journey continuously to 300 land. Headed right. 146 ball speed, and that was a miss hit. Maybe the sway has something to do with that. That was high toe-ish. Wasn't like a terrible shot, but that's decent ball speed if I saw that correctly, or at least better. I still think the club speed and ball speed are low, but that is what it is. I've talked about that enough. Second shot, 230. We got water over there, so I'd rather be over here in this bunker than in that water. 230, no slope. So it's either a smoother controlled 4 hybrid or 4 iron. Considering the 4 iron generally tends to fade more, I'm gonna go 3 hybrid. If I hit this good, again, about 240, 245 on good strikes. It's gonna be too much, but we'll see. On a slight miss hit, we could get lucky and have this work out. Hit it pretty good, and that should fade. And maybe off the back of the green. Wow, that just stayed straight. That started right on the net, and I thought that would have faded more. Maybe a slight misread. I mean, good strike, I'll take it. What was the total on that? Granted, it landed in the rough. 231. Yeah, I don't know. That one, I mean, granted, it kind of landed, well, based on the game, so 208. There's no way that carried 208. I hit that pretty good. That launched a little bit higher than normal. 220 sounds about right. And honestly, I would have thought that would have rolled out a bit more. Granted, it is into the rough, but that felt more like a 240 type of shot. That was pretty clean and started right. I just thought it would have faded more, but I digress. Second shot here, first chip. 25 total. Flat lie, we're in the rough, which is going to be 6%. So it's like a yard. I'm going to try to land this. I'm going to go 60. Landed about 15, 20. And see how much rollout we get. I have playing the furthest back tees. And stimps are still on 10. And they're, I think I picked Friday pins. So a little bit easier than Sunday. But see what we can do here with the 60. Bend it a little bit. Go! Got it to work though. How much did that roll out on the green? So, not much, I guess. 3 yards compared to. So, see that one, that was a little bit strange. That one, the carry in the game was less than the carry overall. Huh. 21 total though. Anyways, again, I'm still new to all this. I'm probably missing a ton of features that I could be using or should be looking at. I think this driver with the 30-gram weight I'm liking it better than the 23. Can't go any heavier than this from what I've seen online, just from what I can buy the back weights are. So this will probably be the setup going forward, at least for a while, until I start hitting it bad again and then want to change things. But all right, 4th hole, 410. Trees there. We're gonna aim, I think, about there. We should be able to, those trees aren't that big, we should be able to get over those. 1 under on the round. That's headed left, or at least it started left. Garmin has that fading back a little bit. I had that starting left and staying left, but it was hit decent. 259 total on the rollout. Seems about right. Unfortunately, we found our... Oh no, we're in the fairway, never mind. I stand corrected. All right, 149. So it's gonna be a 9-iron, and we'll see what happens. If I hit it good and I hit it 150, 155, and then it rolls out, so be it. Still should be back of the green, I think, but ideally, probably 140, 145 would be great. So I'm gonna choke down a little bit. Thin and left, see if it comes back. Still playing more of that fade. It looks like it did. Go! All right. Oh, know what that is? I changed, so I guess you guys can see the settings. So, like I said, 3000. I changed auto putt fixed with chip instead of what did I do last time. I thought that was more what I needed to be with no putting. I was this last time, auto putt fixed. So that's why it chipped for me the past couple times. So we'll save it like that. But like I said, Friday pins, 10 stimp, and then 3000 on the elevation. All right, at least I know what that was. So it wasn't a phantom. Read. Again, learning on the fly. It looked like 138 par 3. I do remember this one from the match. I watched that. This is a cool hole. So 138 down 5 should be a perfect stock pitching wedge here. I've said it numerous times. I'm kind of being a dead horse with the whole elevation thing, but I've said it numerous times with home to here and everything. I'm not juicing my simulator to where I'm hitting it 350 or even 300. Obviously, it does mean no good to hit clubs back here that I can't actually hit on course. I'm just trying to get it to where I can obviously pick the same club selections I would on course and be able to get the most out of my practice. I'm not trying to impress anyone. Obviously, you guys can see what I have going on. There's no shame in my game. When I play good, I play bad. Both here and on course, you guys see it. So, not that I've never had, I haven't had a single person ever complain about it, but just in case I get some new GSPro people that maybe think otherwise. Pitching wedge. thin again. I think I'm, with that little bit of a fade, I'm pulling up on it a little bit, but see, so for that, how thin that was, and it came out a little bit left, that's about right. Obviously, that was a lower launch. That seems like it should have been a little bit on the longer side than it was, so I think we're getting close here with the altitude. Again, not a super huge jump, it's only like 2% going from where I was. I guess it's a little bit more than that, but not super crazy from where I was to where I am now, but I think we're getting even more dialed in here. So, I'm gonna grab a quick drink. I know you guys already just saw the flyover, I should have done that before, but checking the camera. It's gonna be a little bit longer one because I had so much to say at the beginning, but pick up the speed a little bit here on the back nine and finishing off this front. So 6th hole, par 4, 370, dogleg right. That should be good. I'm actually gonna aim about there just to take advantage a little bit of the dogleg, so this still should fade on top of that, but should put us either in the fairway or right rough, I think. Lower launch heel strike came out left, and it's staying left. So good read from the R10. Not a terrible swing, it's just probably that moving that 15-gram slider weight. I had it right in the middle at neutral before. Last time I was out here, now it's at the draw to help. I was thinking if I keep playing this fade type swing, if I have the settings on the driver set to draw, it should help neutralize it even more. At least that's my hope. So, fairway 111. Need to land this about 100, 105. Gonna go approach wedge, see what I can do with about a 100-yard shot. This is 51 degrees. When I hit it full, it's about 125. Toey came out left. It's gonna work though. Go. Oh, there's those realistic spin and ball physics there. That was real close to being good. Take the par though. So far, decent swings. Haven't hit anything super horrendous. Figured out that auto putt thing. Figured out the elevation a little bit more. So far, so good. 7th hole, par 3, 171 down 5. So should be a perfect 8-iron number here. Usually anywhere from 160 to 170. Usually right around 165. I hit it pretty good. It's kind of a low bullet. A little bit left. It's fading back. Take that. I'm assuming the total is with the slope. I know Home Tee Hero, sometimes some of those numbers were a little bit wonky. When you're hitting out a rough, it showed the percentage less. I also changed to the shot tracer color, and I have it to where when it lands, it you can either have it count up or count down. So you can either, the first 2 rounds I did, when it landed, it was counting down to what I had left of the hole. Now it's similar to other shot traces you see, or like the ones I do for Encore. So it goes out and it lands and it shows the total of what that shot was. But I thought that was a better way to do it. 8th hole, par 5, 541. Slight dogleg left, although pretty straight. Favor just the left a little bit right there. And I'm liking these new driver settings too. And a little bit of a sway going on, so far so good. Having myself a day out here. the worst swing yet. That could be trouble. Yep, that sucks. Well, who knows if it'll let us play. Well, it's going to. Terrible swing, good read from the R10. That was starting left and heading left. That's exactly what happened. I'd assume with my whole sway thing that I'm trying out, I'm not doing it super hard, but it is probably going to affect some consistency and accuracy, at least in the time being. All right, what does this want us to do now? So we are in the thick of it here. I think because we're so far into this, I mean, I guess I could go out sideways. I'm gonna try blasting it through here and see what happens. I just want to look, reset aim as A, because I changed, or I changed where I was looking. I want to reset it, and I'm wondering if it had there, if it has you on a line to where it knows you can just blast it through and avoid the trees. So we're gonna try it. What do we have left? 288. So I'm just gonna blast 4 hybrid through here and see what happens. I actually have a decent round going, so this would be unfortunate if we have a blow up hole here, especially out of these trees, but see what we get. Hit pretty good again. More fadey than I would like, but that's not bad. I didn't look at the reduction because we were so far away, but that probably took a decent amount off. I would assume that was probably deep rough. In any event, we are now in the regular rough now, which is going to be 6%. We've got 87 left, up 7, so that's about 2 yards, so 89 total, plus the 6, which is going to be about another 4 or 5. So need about 90-95 total. Got to land it about 85-90. It's still an approach wedge no matter what. It's just hopefully I can get the distance control. I think I mentioned at the beginning, again I had a lot on my mind, but colder today. It's only about 50 degrees, so I got spoiled for a little bit with those 60-70 degree days, but back to a little bit colder again. Approach wedge. Good strike. See if I got the distance right. I think, sit. I think we did. Take that. Nice smooth approach wedge. That's what I gotta do with that club. I've been coming up along with that. I just gotta swing easier. All right, 9th hole par 4. As long as my little bit of tweak and screen recording actually works. I tested it on the range before when I was warming up and it seemed like everything worked correctly. As long as this saves correctly, be in good shape here. So, par 4, 474. Was that a train, I think, going by? I have the sound on, and likely for the video I'll have it lower, but that sounded like, from my end, it sounded like a train was going by within the game. I think I turned it off completely for Augusta, and I think I had it set pretty low so you could hear birds chirping a little bit on the DPC Louisiana course. You could hear the ball land and you could hear some birds chirping. That's another thing you guys can let me know if you like that or not. That was almost a top. Not great, but we're in play. I've noticed some other people that have played GSPro online, like did YouTube videos and stuff. I noticed D-Lug Golf, if you guys are fans of his, if you've seen any of his videos, I believe he uses 2,000 feet altitude. I've seen some other people right around the 2,000 to 4,000 range as well. 220 left. Let's try the 4-iron. Aim a little bit left. Struck it pretty good, but that's going to fade a lot. I came across that, the club face was open. Alright, not the best there, but we've got 27 left in the rough. So, what's the lie? 1.5 left. I haven't been looking at that, I need to. So, aim a little bit right, or even more, because the green's slanting that way too, so it's going to land and roll to the right. 27. We're in the rough, so we got about, call it 30-ish total. Got to land at about 20, 25. I'm going to try the 56. Take a little bit off of my regular 30-yard shot with this. Should be decent. Sit. Oh, right off the pin. Well, it's about as good as it gets there. It's coming in a little bit hot, but decent swing. Gonna grab a drink as you guys look at this flyover onto the back nine. Looks like a 220-yard par 3. I'm assuming, I'll know for sure once I go back inside and edit this, but I'm pretty sure, especially with the longer clubs, I don't know if you guys care as much about it. I could move it back, the camera, a little bit, but I think my club head is probably getting cut off. But you guys should have a much better view of more of the swing. Again, down the line, you can see where it hits on the net. But I think probably the club head, especially on drive, it probably gets cut off in the video a little bit. But 220, down 10 feet, which is about 3. So we got 217 total. What do we have up here? Front left. We'll go about there. And I'm going to hit 217 total. I'm going to go 5-iron. If I hit this good, it'll be about that total. But assuming I don't strike it perfect, should land, I think, about 200, 205 maybe, and roll out to 215-ish. A little bit toey, a little bit of a low launch, but I hit it halfway decent. Club path is not great on that. 8 degrees is a lot. I could tell that was going to fade. Overdoing it. Alright, we're going to put this close. So 1.4 left. Aim a little bit right. Green is basically flat. There's nothing moving. 17 total, so it's going to be a 60. And try to land this right around 10, which should be basically have the ball hit either at the bottom or towards the bottom of the net. I didn't hit it hard. Looks like we got a mulligan out of it. I didn't ground my club enough. That probably would have been a little bit strong. That landed a little bit higher on the net than I wanted. Still hit it pretty soft. That was pretty much the same. And Garmin didn't like that one either, apparently. Alright, it looks like this has happened before in Home to Hero. Basically the R10, there's just a solid red light. So what I do, what I've done in the past with Home to Hero is I just turn it off and turn it back on. I don't know how that's going to react with the connector, but we'll see here, I guess. Hopefully I don't have to go through a whole reconnection and restart the connector app. We'll see if it starts flashing green again. Red, green. All right, I think we're good. So let's try this again. Hopefully it just registers. There we go. And that one was too soft. Should have had it closer to the other ones, I guess. Granted, that was, I guess, pretty flat green. I should have realized that, but all right, bogey. Brings us to 2 under still. Still got a decent round going. Really cool hole here with the sphere in the background. Have you guys seen those videos? I think it was during the match. They have sometimes an eyeball on the sphere, and it's like, it looks at, my uncle said when he went to Vegas, he had, you could see it, and they had an eyeball, and it looks up and it looks at the planes going over, which is kind of cool. That sphere thing looks awesome. 11th hole, par 5, 592. Narrow landing spot, so we'll go right about there. All right, last couple have been kind of low and left. See if we can square this up a little bit better. Same thing. Shut the face down way too much. At least that's a misread on the Garmin's part, but that was a low duck hook swing. Garmin had that starting left and coming back right. Lucky, but shots like that, when you don't hit them good, you don't want to get bailed out. You want to kind of have to deal with your repercussions of poor swings, but 345 left in the rough. Nothing's going to get there, so the slope and all that stuff doesn't even matter. It's going to come out left, which will be fine. So we'll go about there. Again, pretty narrow. 250. I'm just going to go 4 hybrid. Hopefully put a halfway decent swing on it, get us back out into play. Chunky and right. Not going to go very far, but we're in play. .138. All right. I like that number. Should be a perfect stock pitching wedge. Landed anywhere from 130 to 135, and get lucky with the rollout. I feel that last swing on my lower back from that yard work yesterday. Hit it good. Should be right around there. Good shot. Take that every day of the week. 12th hole, par 3, 193, which will be between a 7 and a 6. Ooh, we got water over there. All right, so I'd rather be long. So we're gonna aim, and it's down 8. Actually, and it's in the front. This is an in-between club for sure. Gonna aim there, and I'm gonna go 6 iron. I'd rather be long off the back of the green than not catch the 7 great and come up short, possibly into that water. That was pretty heavy. At least it was right though. Well, got it to work, I guess. That was honestly probably an ideal, a little bit heavy 6 iron, considering I usually play this to about 200, 205, and that was an in-between number. So on top of it being heavy with that downslope, we got 195 out of it total. It kind of worked out. On a flat fairway normal shot, that and without the slope, that would have been about 15 yards short. So we got kind of lucky there with those shot conditions there, but all right, 13th hole, par 5, 522. Slight dogleg right. More open this time though, so aim up that left a little bit. Gotta get that fade going again. Still low Healy. Started left, should stay left, and that one kind of is. I feel like I'm swinging pretty hard at it. It's just still having a tough time squaring it up. That may be with the weight over there. I think I may need to open up the club face at address a little bit more. 265 left. Ooh, there's water there. Well, we're gonna have to lay up because that's about all I'm gonna get total out of the 4 hybrid, and I can't carry it that far. So we're gonna have to go here. 195 total. So just gonna go 7 iron. Hopefully again 180, 185-ish. Have it roll out just short of that water. Thin, a little bit Healy, headed right, but that should be fine. $80. Alright, approach wedge. Try to hit this about 70, 75. May need to go a little bit. Alright, take that. Smoother, easier swing with that club seems to be working out. Oh, they changed the sphere. Look at that, they got, looked like the NFL over there. That's pretty cool. I mean, the fact that these courses are so crazy designed, the fact that they can even like implement something like that, something so minuscule, but those little tiny details are so cool. What was that, the Raiders up there, it looked like? Maybe Derek Carr getting sacked when he was still there. I don't know when this course was designed. What do we got for downslope? Anything? 6 feet? Not much. That was better. That's going to fade a little bit more than I want, but that was more squared up. .171 left. Decent drive there. So we got to land. I'm going to go 8 iron. Should be a good 8 iron if I hit it about 160, 165, and then the roll out. Roll out, roll out, roll out. Oh. That's not going to get there. That's about as heavy as you can hit. I hit like an inch behind that. It always surprises me. Garmin always does a great job picking up the bad ones. 24, 1.5 right, so we're gonna aim a little bit left. I'm gonna go 60, try to land at 20, or hit it basically 20 total. Get 4 yards of rollout ideally. Maybe a little bit long. And it was, but stayed inside the inner circle. 4 under. How cool is that sphere? Nothing up there this time, but I mean, just even the detail of like Palazzo and like all the hotels and stuff, the casinos. I don't think that's ever going to get old. So, 15th hole par 4, 352. Got the fade back on the last one. We'll go about there. Not terrible. A little bit high in the face, a little bit heely, but should be pretty straight. Didn't fade a ton, but we're in play. I'll give credit to that extra heavy weight in the back, increasing MOI on that one. Not that that was crazy poorly hit, but